What's going on, everyone? Have you ever felt that everything that you've ever said, everything that was ever deep inside of you, everything that has been hidden that has ever came out of you, expressing just how you feel about this world, how you feel about being looked at and being respected, how you feel about the way that people have treated you throughout your entire life? Have you ever thought about looking at everything that people are not what it seems, that you are not exactly what you seem to be, that everything is simply put in front of you as a test? Do you know the more pain that you go through, the more leaps and bounds, the more things become clearer, the more that you start to see that new trends become old trends the next day, and the day after, you only have memories of laughter, memories of the people that you once knew and that you called friends. And everyone passes by. Eventually, you'll start to realize that it's not even about how much you could afford to keep somebody close to you. It's not about how much that you could scratch beneath the surface and then find that there is light at the end of the tunnel. What I'm about to embark is more than just a simple journey. It is the deep layers of finding one's identity in a very puzzling world. We all have pieces that are broken. All of us have things that we carry, that we chase after, that we try to consume to our very best well-being. Our very well interest always seems to be the interest of what other people are doing. Even those who appear to be confident in themselves, they try to get something to their own recognition by seeing what somebody else is doing and somebody else being recognized. There is that individual who is by himself trying to be recognized by doing something based off of what he sees another doing or what she sees another doing. And that's just how people are. They find a lot of times success from what others' success and others' glory and others' makings of themselves. They try to pick up on from what another does, and they try to do something similar to their liking to get a very similar attention. It's like the company that you keep is what you will reap and what you will sow. Nothing really, I'm going to say, for the most part, is original. People do things that they see other people do, and then they kind of add their own Kool-Aid to it, their own fixture to it. They add a little bit of their own rhythm, but the idea is off of somebody else and their attention that they receive. And you get the idea of wanting attention for yourself based off of you seeing somebody else's attention. And I'm saying it's because it's built into us to want acceptance. It's built into us to see what other people may have. And we want what is similar based on what other people have that look like they've made it, that they have achieved greatness. Most people on this earth, it doesn't matter what country that they're from, it doesn't matter where they have been raised, it doesn't matter their level of education, it doesn't matter where they've been, it doesn't matter the people that they've encountered. Everyone wants to be somebody that is recognized, somebody that counts for something that matters. And when you feel like your life doesn't matter, when you feel people have ghosted you, when you feel people have just abandoned you, when you feel like you have been left in the shade, when you feel like there is no turning back other than if you turn back, there is just the regret that you will capture. In that turning back, you will see everything that is sorrow with tears coming from it. You will see that there is blemish, and every persona, every personality has flaws that cannot be overlooked. Every single person's smile, there is something that is hidden of a disdain behind that smile, that that person may be smiling at another person that they really don't like and they're pretending to like. People have disguised faces, disguised eyes that pretend to see everything clearly, but they're blind. That's what you will find mostly in people you come mostly in contact with. They will give you what is blind eyes. They will give you everything that is in disguise. They will give you half truths, mostly lies. And I'm saying this is because there is not many people who are going to fill your shoes. They're not going to relate to the circumstance of your being. They're not going to feel or try to represent on everything that you speak about of yourself, your story, your life. You as a human being are not going to be upheld with value the same way that you see yourself with value, because you know that you put in every amount of effort to make a difference in your life and even the life of others. You tried to do everything that was serving your community. You tried to speak truth, but no one would listen to truth that you were trying to tell them because they were so blinded by flashiness of materialism that that's the only thing that they focused on. They didn't focus on the deeper things of character that you were trying to instill in a conversation, speaking to your peers or speaking to others on the streets, speaking to people in high positions of authority. Nobody wanted to listen to you because they looked at you as somebody that didn't have what they had. Or it could just be many people are insecure when it comes to the very true intrinsic nature and in value that we have. Only for a short period of time do we recognize what is the more deeper value, what is the more deep-rooted, powerful engineering of one's identity. Are we just all geared to the same things, the same, wants and desires? Fortune, fame, wanting to fit in a specific circle and talk about things that are relevant of, just the here and now, the pleasures of the moment, the pleasures of the day, the seeking for attention, the gratification of dopamine while seeking pleasure, and talking about the next relationship aspect of a person, talking about how much money that is tied to another person that one wants from that person, whether it's the money, whether it's the status, whether it's the recognition. You see, there's always something that someone wants from another, but it's not simply the person that they really want. They want the idea of that person. They want the title, the symbol that is of that person, but not the actual person who is a living human being, who is an instrument in the eyes made by the Creator, that has given them a created purpose, a destination that is filled with, ongoing representation of so many things that that person could be able to change, even the world in just a very simplistic way of just being, of just expressing in-depthness in social orders and, showing kindness, showing, much gratitude. Your conversations could be about the very basic things of just saying hello or showing a smile, and there's gratitude behind that smile, and a person won't even recognize that it's gratitude. They'll just look at it like it's a person just making a gesture that is just casual, and to be like, that person is just here or there. That's how it is for most people. Most people are invisible to a lot of people. You know what I mean? If it makes sense. And I'm starting to realize it's not about what other people think. It's not about whether, you find, being accepted or rejected by what other people say that you're accepted or you being rejected by. It's not about, what can I do to constantly keep myself in the rhythm of this ongoing consumerism world that is like an invention. It's like a spinning wheel that keeps on spinning, and it's like, where are you going to find, the right, you know, at a pause to where it's no longer spinning and you're at the right slot, you're at the right destination of where you need to be that is on a ride. You know what I mean? I'm just going to say it like this. The only thing that I really truly want is to be in a peaceful setting where everything is set before me. The atmosphere, the quiet sounds of beautiful noise, like birds chirping, like the leaves falling, and listening to the water and its ripples, in effect. Feeling the grass and its tenderness, and feeling how life flows right through the grass that one is sitting on the ground, and just being able to feel the earth. The earth actually is able to speak to a person when a person is meditating on the things that are all around him. And the beautiful sounds come from when one is listening to how crisp the sound of nature in its ambiance, how it flows, and how it's simply a dance. It's a cosmic flow of a sounding ballad of a dance that is to one's ears and to one's senses when one is in a very peaceful place, and all you need is maybe another person by your side to have a very blissful conversation about the simple things of, Earth's beauty, Earth's tranquility. And think about the Earth itself. It carries everything with stability, with gravity, and it never leaps and bounds off of that gravity that is sufficient for us as we live here on this planet. You think about just how majestic life is just by the undeniable balance of the earth that is in space. If I could be someone in a very private place, it would be to where there is only trees, there is only sunlight, there is only the moonlight after the sun goes down, and where there are waterfalls where I could hear the sounding of crashing waves as beautiful tokens that make up rivers by the crashing of waterfalls, and looking at them as very brightened as the water just flows down, and you hearing that sound like it's thrashing, crashing right to the bottom of where the river is, where the stream is. That's how I look at life. I look at life from a very natural perspective of being in everything that doesn't judge, that doesn't label. God's green earth doesn't judge what a person is wearing, what a person looks like, physically. The earth is not judging, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're smart, whether you're dumb, whether you're polite or whether you're irate, whether you're, everything that you can think of the human personality, whether you're right or wrong, whether you're strong or weak, whether you're standing tall or whether you rise and then fall. The earth is simply what it is. And you can sit there and hear the voice of God speak to you on a level that no other human being has the ability to speak to you, no matter how much the intelligence of a person. A person doesn't have the intelligence that is of a higher being that could speak to you in ways that define you in such a greater way. You know what I mean? The one who has created you can speak to you, and he can define you in a way that is greater of yourself than anyone, even putting you on a level that they feel is called greatness. Because who is it that you could really trust fully with your attention, fully with every dimension, every, plausible, concrete of awareness? It is being aware that someone who is higher than everything that we call high and mighty, that we think is, surrounding us with something that we could find to our advantage. And I'm just saying it like this. One has to realize, to be true to themselves, to be true to others, and to see that there is always that place where you can find bliss is always within yourself.